All right, we gotta try this. My voice is still a little jacked up. I've been sick, but we need to talk about Ring doorbells because it's the holidays and a lot of you out there are either gonna get a Ring doorbell this Christmas or you're gonna give somebody a Ring doorbell this Christmas. And for good reason, right? They're super popular. They've been really good for a long time. But there have been a lot of scary stories in the news lately, and rightfully so. And in fact, I'm not here to defend Ring at all. I just want you to understand exactly what's going on and how it is you can protect yourself if you have a Ring or if you're getting one for somebody for Christmas. So you ready? Let's go do this. So this all kind of started with a story about somebody's Ring camera getting hacked. And then the hackers, who almost assuredly were wearing black hoodies and fingerless gloves and looked something like this, then started talking to the families through the camera, through the speaker in the camera.
Hello, is someone here? Can you hear me?
A man with a very distinct accent took over the Reed family's Ring security system.
It gave me chills, and anybody that I played it for said that they felt chills up their spine.
That's bad, okay? It's real bad, and it's scary as hell because if somebody can talk to you through the speaker in the camera, it means they can also see what's going on through the camera. That's really, really bad. But here's the thing. The camera wasn't hacked, okay? It's not like somebody snuck in through the backyard and clipped some wires like they do in the movies and then could suddenly see everything going on in the camera. No, the camera was just fine and it was working the way it's supposed to. In fact, I'd argue that what actually happened is actually worse. But before we get into that, I want to talk about this other story that just came out. BuzzFeed got a scoop that about 3,000 Ring usernames and addresses and emails and all that stuff got leaked. And that gets us to the root of the problem, I think, and it's this. Human beings are really bad at creating passwords. And the companies that we're trusting with our passwords are doing a really bad job of making sure that we use better passwords and that we have all the safety protections in place on our accounts. So this is actually the same sort of problem that we saw when Disney Plus launched back in November, and you saw some scary stories about people getting locked out of their accounts. Here's what actually happened. People are reusing passwords. I get it, I've done it too, right? You use a password, you know it, you can remember it, so you just use it at a smattering of places and don't think anything of it because, well, it's not all that important, right? It's a magazine subscription or something, whatever. But the problem is when those emails and passwords get leaked and some bad guys somewhere get them, they say, hey, I'm gonna go try that email, I'm gonna go try that password somewhere else. And of course, that somewhere else happens to be Ring because Ring is super popular. There are a whole bunch of them out there, and it's a ripe target because what does it do? It looks at you. I've got a camera up there right now. It's spying on you all the time. It's not really spying, it's doing its job, right? It's watching you, but that's what makes it such a ripe target. So passwords being reused and leaked and used again, that's just part of the problem. That's on us, the user. Another part of the problem here is that Ring could have and should have done a lot more. It could have had the technology in place to say, hey Phil, I see you usually log in from Pensacola, but I just got a login request from, say, I don't know, Russia. So I'm gonna go ahead and block that until you tell me it's okay, but just heads up, that happened. That's a standard thing that all kinds of services out there do. Ring didn't. And Ring could have made it mandatory that you have to use some sort of two-factor authentication when you log into your account. You get a secondary code via text message, which works but isn't great. Or you have to use one of those software token apps like Google Authenticator. That's better. Even better than that, though, would be using something like a hardware key. In fact, I happen to have one in my pocket right now because I'm a huge nerd. I've done a whole video on those. Go watch it. It's super cool. And actually, Ring does let you use text messages for two-factor authentication, but it's optional and it's buried deep down in the settings, and guess what? My mom's not using it. And another thing Ring could have done would be to implement a service like Have I Been Pwned? That's a really cool service where all of these leaked emails and passwords get dumped into a database and hashed and hidden and all that stuff so your data isn't leaked a second time. And then when you create a new password on Ring, it could say, hey, Phil, I see you're trying to use that password 1234. Not only is that a really bad password, but you've used that some other place and it's been leaked already. Maybe don't do it again this time. Ring could have done that, but it didn't. So just to recap what's going on, we, the users, have been using bad passwords and we've been using them over and over again on multiple services. So if they get leaked one place, bad guys are gonna go try them somewhere else. And Ring, for its part, hasn't done enough to help us use better passwords and to help us with better login authentication to make sure it's really us trying to get into our cameras and stuff. So, what should you do if you get a Ring camera this Christmas, or if you're getting one for somebody else? Should you just throw it away and not install it? I don't know, I'm gonna leave that one up to you to decide for yourself, I think. But if you're gonna keep it, at the very least, you need to do a few things, okay? First, make sure you're using a strong, unique password, and use a password manager, okay? I've got a whole video on those. Go watch it. It's super important. It's gonna make your life a lot easier and a lot more secure. And don't give your Ring login to anybody else, okay? If you got family members you wanna give access to, you can set them up as a secondary user on the account. Second, and I can't stress this enough, use two-factor authentication whenever possible. Don't skip it, okay? Text messages are okay if that's all you have. Software tokens in an app like Google Authenticator are better, and even better than that is a physical hardware key. And third, I'm just gonna throw it out there, I'm a big fan of Have I Been Pwned, okay? Go give it your email address and it's gonna keep track, so if your email gets caught up in another data breach somewhere, you're gonna know about it as soon as it happens. So I hope that helps a little. No, Ring cameras haven't been hacked, okay? The problem is the accounts aren't as secure as they could be. Some of that's our fault as the users. A lot of that's Ring's fault as the company that's supposed to be keeping our stuff safe. And I'm gonna say this again because I can't say it enough. You need to be using strong, unique passwords every single time. Do not reuse them. So that's it for now. Be sure to follow me on the socials and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. See you next time.